Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. Season 2, episode 18, the finale, X and the City. Carrie tries to be friends with Mr. Big. Miranda tries to be friends with Steve. Charlotte reconnects with her horse girl past. And Samantha thinks she can take a big one. But I guess she's not as big of a whore as we thought she was. Anyway, I didn't know. I guess she thinks she can take big ones, but she can't. And
I was trying to think. I'm like, I'd like to give that a shot.
I mean, I don't know what she's really talking about, but like, I'd have to imagine this thing's like 11 inches or something.
Yeah, it must be the girth.
Pod in the City.
Stop touching stuff, Joe.
Guys, hi, how are ya? We're killing it here. We
love
that
Charlotte horse storyline.
I loved
Even watching that at the time, I was like, what is this?
I am so opposite.
You were into that story?
Happy.
You gave a shit about Charlotte and her bougie
I was gonna go on a 5-minute rant or 5-minute like applaud of that. How I loved that was Charlotte's storyline. After a season all about men and her connection to men, I thought it was really nice.
It was very Rachel Leviss coded because it's like, Charlotte has PTSD from like not winning some medal.
Oh yeah. When Rachel turned 27 and she aged out of beauty pageants, it rocked her world.
Yeah.
Except, did she ever win one before?
No. I'll never win, period.
Anyway, guys, hi, it's the Pod in the City podcast. I'm John. This is Amantha. It is kind of weird. We just recorded an amazing Patreon episode all about Broad City. Please, if you guys like our voices, check out our Patreon. We do extra episodes over there each week. This week we did Broad City Season 1 episode, Ted the Last Supper, and we talked about things that who knows if you'll think they're interesting. And next week we have our infamous Pillow Talk episode all about sexy things. So make sure that you're signed up for our Patreon. It's patreon.com/podinthecity. $6 a month, and you get extra episodes every week, and you can get this episode early every single week.
All right, Joan, can we watch the clock? Because I just remembered that we have that email that we want. We're getting keep going over. So let's try to stop this at 50. Then we'll.
I would just like to. Okay, cool. Then I would like to let everyone know. Check out. So I think, here's what I was thinking, is I think these Pod in the City episodes, you can listen to them anytime. They're, I may listen to 3 in a row when I'm really feeling the feeling. We've been getting a lot of really cool comments from you guys and messages saying that you've been binging the series and listening to us along with it. Comments from you guys, so sweet. We so appreciate it. But if you want topical shit like Mudang and Agatha All Along and Cody Brown...
So just staying in your voice for even having to admit that that's a hot topic.
Our weekly roundup, y'all, please listen to it. It's topical. Check it out. If you're watching us, check it out too. I'd also really, really appreciate if you could hit subscribe and hit like, okay? We're getting views on these videos because I think people are being tricked into clicking on it, but we're not getting a lot of likes. So hit the like.
Everything's happening. Latrice, stop. She's opening the closet door.
Let's
do this. Do you have any news of gossip? There was nothing.
I've got this handled here, baby. I've got it. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Oh.
I got a lovely message on one of our things. I did want to say thank you to our beautiful watcher who commented. Joan is just a lovable stinker. I love your podcast. Been binge watching all of it, and you guys always make me LOL. Come on, Amanda. That has to fill your heart with some joy.
That's lovely. So I feel like I don't want you to read me nice comments either, because since I don't read the bad comments. I feel like I'm not deserving to read the good comments either for some reason.
Oh,
Again,
okay. Well, guess what? On ours, we don't really have bad comments about you. It's mostly people just having an issue with me. And guess what? That's my life story, and I don't give a fuck. So,
well, if you want to see bad comments about me, just go to anything with me and Jody on it.
You're right, but I balance you out in the best way so that like I buffer. I'm like the more annoying one to
you make me less
some
annoying,
people.
I guess.
Yeah. I do want to say, never forget this happened this season, and I was so excited.
Oh, he's back! Steve is back.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm so excited that this episode brought Steve back. I was breathless.
I know.
I was wet.
That
Honestly,
opening scene always did make me. I need to unmirror my camera.
I was gonna say the scene about 2/3 of the way through, towards the end, I was getting
their chemistry is really good too in that scene. I remember always saying,
"Can I kiss you here?"
It's like really hot.
Like, that's what I was saying. I was
feeling this date I have tomorrow. Should I just be like, watch this scene and then just like reenact this at my house?
But are you guys? Okay, yeah. Then instead of our news and gossip this week, let's make this bitch really on trend because it is the finale. It is wild to me that we've made it now through season 2.
It's crazy that it lined right up with Broad City finale, eh?
That is weird.
2 finales in one night.
Ooh, how exciting. And it also means, you guys know what it means. And just like that, season 2. We're starting.
Oh yeah, next week. Oh, that is crazy.
I'm scared. Well, I hope you guys will stick through with us. If you've been watching Sex and the City, I hope you'll dip in and find some Anne just like that and joy in that, because the new season is coming out in 2025 and we've got to be ready. We've got to be prepped. I have yet to see Anthony's infamous butthole virginity being taken. I've got to check that out.
Oh yeah.
And I've got to see what they do with Che Diaz in season 2, because unfortunately they will not be in season 3 as we remember. We're going to leave it a little time for our sexy story at the end. So do you want to get into that?
Can I actually really quickly read you the episode description for And Just Like That season 2 episode 1, which we will be doing next week?
Yeah. I'm scared.
It's called Met Cute.
Okay. Is it about the Met Gala?
Oh yeah, it is actually.
Ooh, okay.
It is, and it's actually okay. Again, I told you season 2 gets better. When Carrie questions whether she's ready for more than just a casual fling, is it casual now? Miranda starts to worry her relationship with Che is only about sex.
Oh God. So we get a whole episode being like, you just like finger bang me too much. Like you just make me come all the time.
It's strap on or something. There's like a strap on situation.
Amanda.
Joan.
I am not ready. I have to emotionally prepare. What I need you guys to do in the meantime, though, to help me emotionally prepare is join our Patreon, because Amanda and I have been going through it and we could really use some Patreon support.
You can hear about my money situation that I finally
on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Check it out. So should we get into this episode, Amanada?
Yeah.
This is like the fastest we've ever got. That's what I'm saying. It's the first we do love. We've requested, as you guys send us emails. We don't get them very much, but we did have one. We keep running so long that we're like, oh shit, we ran out of time. So today we're giving it time.
And Joan's going to see a movie tonight.
I am going to go see a movie.
Endgame or some shit like that.
No, it's Transformers 1.
That is crazy. Okay.
It's animated and it's in 3D.
Oh, so. Transformers 1? Like the animated movie? Like from the 80s?
No. Oh. It's like a new movie that is like the origins of the Transformers, but it's gotten like amazing reviews, allegedly. So, all right. No one on a Sex and the City podcast wants to hear about Transformers. I do still like some things like that, even though I am who I am. I am what I am. In 25 years, I'm gonna play what's the character?
Alban. Yeah. The Nathan Lane from the Bird.
Life is all about making choices. Some choices, like
I swear to God, I thought you were gonna say life's not worth a damn. Like I thought you were
is that one of the lines
in this song. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Till you can shout
Life's
out
not
loud, I
worth
am what I
a
am.
damn.
Till you can shout out loud. George Hearn. He's over dramatic.
The thing is, like, I would actually like sing it. I don't want to just like
He really
speak.
screams in that Tony performance.
All right. Life is all about making choices. Some, whether to be yourself and all right, some choices like who you marry are big, while others are even bigger. And it's Carrie and Miranda are out buying flowers. Carrie says the $5 ones that last 3 days or the $10 ones that last 5 days. Miranda's like, I don't care. She's
The
like, okay,
second
3
this
days.
started and
3
I
days.
saw that they were in front of the flowers, I was like, oh my God, this is that part. The sad
Oh,
part
yeah.
with Steve. Like, I knew that's what this was. Miranda's hair looks really good
It's
here.
sad, though.
It
It's
is
sad for
so
Steve.
sad.
Okay, so she ends up getting the $5 flowers, and we hear her talk again. Another choice is how to deal with an ex-boyfriend. Some women handle it, sorry, coolly, calmly, while others, and then we see our man, Steve,
Holding a
rolling out,
B-ball.
looking
B-ball in the
hot.
Pod City episode too, Joan.
Steve loves to ball, even though he has a horrible farmer's tan, like horrible. Anyway, then Miranda sees Steve. She's like, fuck, Steve. And then they kind of like run away. And he's like, hey, come back here. And it's like,
and Carrie does this kind of recurring bit because she does this later at the stable where she's like, I'm sorry. Like as they're walking away, she's like apologizing to the person.
We end up going to the diner, and Carrie's just like, he looked okay. They put down a dessert, and they are all just ravenous for this. They scoop each a little dollop of whipped cream off the dessert and take a little nip off the corner because, anyway. He looked so hurt, like a kid in one of those big-eyed velvet paintings, and they're like, poor Steve. And Miranda's just like, I panicked. What was I going to do? Chat about the weather? The band's been inside of me, for God's sake.
I love that line. I mean, that is
true.
It's like, he's been inside of me. Like, what do we talk about now?
It does bring up like a thing. And okay, I'll get a little farther here, and then it brings up the whole topic of this whole episode. I have never been friends. Okay, so Samantha's like, I've never been friends with men. Women are for friendships, men are for fucking. And Carrie says, honey, you've got to learn how to form an opinion.
What a bitchy thing to say. I'd be like, can you like feel the vibe of this? You just like brought down the whole vibe.
Oh, I think that's fucking funny. I would laugh if my friend said that. Yeah, you would say that
to me after I said that.
Oh no, I thought that was hilarious. If my friend said that to me, I would laugh.
I mean, it's kind of true.
Because like she's like, if you can't poke at your friends, who can you poke at, right?
Yeah.
We find out Black Widow spiders bite the heads off their mate when it's over. Withholding friendship is letting them off easy. Imagine instead of the awful breakup scene, you say, come here, and you chomp their head off.
That line has always been so weird. Have you noticed
Carrie has another line in this episode that bothered me so badly.
What is it?
The way she says it. I'll
okay.
You think I want you to?
I've always
want you to ruminate.
Weird the way she.
Oh, I hate the way she does it too, where she's like chomp it off their head, like.
I think she's trying to. It's almost as if she sounds too natural, and it's off-putting. Like it almost sounds like it's unscripted. Like it's almost too well performed, where it takes me out of the scene. Where I'm like, what is this? Or she goes out of character or something.
It seems out of character, kind of for her, I think.
Yeah,
because she doesn't do the performative jokey thing for
her friends.
That's true.
She's too shielded. I think that Sarah Jessica Parker comes out too much in that moment.
Yeah. The love that Big and I had cannot be the same thing he has with Natasha.
Well, because she says calling her the idiot stick figure. Childish, and she goes, "If you love someone and you break up, where does the love go?" Which I agree with. The love's there.
It is. But you know what they feel on a different way than you did when you were in love or when you were together, right? Like it's not sure. The love that Big and I had cannot be the same thing as with Natasha. Natasha, when you stop calling her the idiot stick figure with no soul? About 3 weeks ago when I saw them at Cafe M, he was holding her hand and smiling. And I finally got it. They're happy / we're over.
My God, that would send me into a fucking spiral.
Oh, I would too. But the girls totally back her up because they're like, Natasha, what a bullshit name.
Yes.
Totally stupid, complete bullshit, which I just
mean,
love that. It's like,
because that's sometimes what you need.
that's it. That's all you need. Because in this moment, you're not able to be like, hey, Carrie, it's okay. Like,
Yeah,
you and
no.
Big were
You
not
just need
good.
to
It
say
wasn't,
what a bitch Natasha is
yeah,
and
like,
how
fuck
stupid
that bitch. What
Colton
a
is.
stupid name. Hate them
Yes.
all. Burn them to the ground. Later that night, I got to thinking about the X factor. In mathematics, we learned that X stands for the unknown. A plus B equals X. But what's really unknown is what plus what equals friendship with an X. Is this an unsolvable equation, or is it possible to transform a once passionate love into something that fits nice and easily into the friendship shelf? I couldn't help but wonder. All that chat just to wonder, can you be friends with an ex?
Now, I think you can. I think you definitely both need to know that you're both fallen out of love with each other.
I was going to
And
say, if you are
nothing,
both over it, both
not
completely
even
just
over
like,
it,
eh.
but like I'm not in love with you anymore. But there's still love. But also, I think that something really horrible needs to not have happened. Like you need to have both gotten out of it alive with just like mild. Like
Yeah,
nobody
but
could have done something really horrific to each
but
other.
there is also that always that piece of like, well, we've been intimate. I could be in a really hard moment of weakness and just want it again. And then you're back in my life and I'm back in this cycle, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera,
well,
et
I've
cetera.
definitely slept with all of my exes afterward,
Yeah.
like a few times.
Yeah.
But I've said this before. I've still have recurring dreams where now it's moved over to bacon fingers, but like I would often have recurring dreams where I was just back together with Brad and it was really good. But in the dream, I was always like, no, 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 this doesn't work. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. And then I
Mm-hmm.
wake up like in a cold sweat. Do you ever get those? Where you like, it's like
No.
with an ex of yours, and you're like in the dream, like, no, this isn't right. This isn't right. Like, why is this? Why are we
I
not
don't really
together?
get bad dreams, weirdly.
They're not bad dreams with Brad, but I'm
You
always
wake up
relieved
in a
when I
cold
wake up.
sweat.
I wake up in a cold sweat when it's Radu. When it's Brad, I wake up like, oh,
Oh,
okay, good, good. I'm glad we didn't make that mistake
yeah.
again. Yeah.
It's hard because being in a relationship, someone is usually different than they are when they are your friend.
Yeah.
Because they're able to like be a nicer version of themselves or something like a it's like when you get in a relationship sometimes with certain people or whatever, like it's not like they're mean in the relationship, but then when you're just friends, they're like nice again and you're like, what the
100%. You know
fuck?
what I was thinking today is like how you do know that person. Like Carrie knows Big in that way. Like she knows him. Just say you're talking to someone whose boyfriend treats her like shit, right? And
Mhm.
she says to you, well, you don't know him like I do. He's totally different when it's, and, which is true. I do believe that. I think that there's these men and they are a totally different person with the woman. Maybe she is seeing a
I
part of him,
think
but then
personally though, that's a manipulation tactic and that's not right.
it is, but
You
on the
don't want
other
to be with
side of
someone who's
that, I
different.
want to say to this person, yes, I may not know him like you know him, but you also don't know him like I know him, especially when like the men, because I've been friends with guys that talk mad shit about their girlfriends. They're
Yeah.
horrible about their girlfriends. They're great to have as friends. A Tom Sandoval type, if you will.
Mhm.
Like I've seen a side of him that you also don't see because he's like off, like he's totally different when you're not around
Yeah.
too.
It's hard. I mean, I'll go back to my feeling that women should just be with women and men should just be with men.
Yeah, we should just all be
That's
friends
done.
with each other and like just have sex just like for fun. We don't have to pair
Yeah.
off.
I think the sex too, men should be with men and women should be with women. Everyone would be happier, I think,
But what
because
about the girls, the girlies out there that just want a big dick?
I just
Like it's
don't think
not
you
touch
really
it.
want to be. I just don't think the man attached to it is that great. I
No,
don't think
I
that
know, I
I don't think the
agree.
sensibilities of true sexuality, like I think that they work. Okay, I'm hearing a total echo. I don't know if it's coming out of your side.
You're not.
I hear
But
my
I
voice
can put in my
repeated on
headphone if
you.
you want, then you won't hear it.
Oh, okay.
Would you like me to
It's
do
just
that?
like a delayed. I could just hear my voice delayed.
Okay, there.
Anyway, that Sunday afternoon, Miranda was enjoying a biscotti and the paper when there it was, her ex's head. He's knocks on the door. Guess who it is, baby? Sexy Steve. He can hear her breathing.
This is a
They
pretty bold move.
It
It's
is.
pretty hot too.
Oh god, I loved this, and the way
I
it
would have
went
sex with him right
down.
there in the doorway. I wouldn't wait for Friday.
No, I would have.
Like, so you're here. We're obviously fucking right now.
Yeah, I mean it's hard, and this episode does bring up the idea of like why did they break up in the first place, right? Stupid reason, stupid reasons.
It
That
wasn't
was
stupid.
they're like, hi, yeah, that was a shitty thing you did running away from me on the street. It boils down to Miranda saying, I don't do very well with ex-boyfriends, and Steve's like, which this could read as cheesy, but I kind of got like a little misty. He's like, this is me, Steve. Steve, this is me, Steve. I held your head while you were sleeping.
No, that is a really mushy line, and it works on me every
Oh,
time.
I would.
Every time.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't have broken up with Steve if I was Miranda, so we wouldn't be at this point. Sorry about it. I love Steve, and I will not apologize.
That
How'd your head
episode,
while
I
you
feel like
sleep?
the episode where they are in the laundry room and Miranda says, I love you. And he goes, Miranda, you're the one. And she goes, what about what's her face? And he goes, I know, but yeah, I know, but Miranda, you're the one.
Which they have that from the moment. Now, I
When
wonder
that
if I
song
watched the show when when I guess I originally watched it. I don't think I was old enough to do stuff like this, but I wonder if people thought that Steve was like her end all when he appeared
Yeah,
because he
of
instantly
course.
had you think people felt that?
Because they retconned all this now. And then just like that, they've just retconned the whole series.
I hate. Oh yeah, I hate angels like that because Steve's not. And
Because when
someone says
Miranda
that we
on it
can't
just
keep
like that
convincing
said,
them old Steve is sexy. So.
Miranda says on it just like that. Well, I guess I don't think I was actually ever happy looking back. What?
Fuck you, bitch. You guys
Yeah.
had
Fuck you,
the
Miranda.
hottest chemistry ever. The chemistry she has with Che Diaz is like 0.
Oh my God. It's like negative chemistry.
It's awful. How about showing up at your you'd never do anything that shitty. How about showing up at your apartment and calling how about showing up at your apartment and calling you shitty? Yeah, that was pretty shitty. And he's like, you got a bat in the cave. She has like a booger in her nose.
Yeah.
And
Gross.
she's like, I miss you. Whenever something funny happens, I always want to tell you about it. So tell me, just because we broke up doesn't mean we can't have a friendly meal, does it? So then they make a date for Friday.
Yay.
Now, as Miranda made plans to have dinner with her last love, Charlotte came to face with the memory of her horse, Taddy. Charlotte's relationship with Taddy ended when
The
he threw her.
episode immediately goes from really relatable to like, oh, all right.
I
This is
love.
Ariana on Vanderpump Rules.
I
She has this
loved
exact same
this.
storyline.
I loved this, getting back to her roots, you know. And I liked that Charlotte's wasn't all about, pursuing a man and
Sure.
because her whole thing was like, oh, they keep hurting me and keep ruining everything. So it was nice that she explored this part.
Where are these stables? Are these in like
That's what I
Central
kept
Park?
thinking. Like some of them were
Where is
like in a
this?
building.
Yeah,
It
it
just
looks
looked
like they're
like
just on like a Fifth Avenue and
it
they just like
does.
walking out onto the street with the horse.
Which is creepy, but have seen a TikTok that sadly they have like high-rise buildings that they put these horses in, and they have like,
God.
and I don't want to get into that. Like, yeah. Charlotte's relationship with Taddy ended when he threw her during a teen equestrian competition, causing her to break her collarbone and lose the blue ribbon. Her father promptly sold Taddy, and she hadn't been on a horse since. Charlotte wondered if it was time to get back in the saddle.
I think Taddy found its way to the glue factory, is what I think.
Meanwhile, across town, Samantha was about to see a stallion of her own. And I gotta say, this man is imprinted on my mind. I think he is hot.
He's so hot.
So fucking fine. And then later when he's like shirtless in the bedroom with his like pants and I'm just like, this man is fine as fuck. Sorry. He's like blazed into my memory of when I watched this previously. And then his whole thing about, of course, guys having a huge dick.
He's very smoldery.
Yeah, he is. He gives me the type of guy that would be on the front of like a romance novel. And he also is tall and very like he just looks like he could like hold me in his arms and just like, oh, anyway. Anyway, check out our Patreon next week, and you'll get to hear more about the imprinted loves in my childhood from this. Samantha was about to see a stallion of her own. So basically, they have a whole thing back and forth on the street. He's hot as fuck. I was thinking maybe you'd have dinner with me sometime. What makes you think that? And then they have this whole back and forth. How'd you get to be so cocky? I was born that way, I guess. At least consider meeting me for a friendly little drink. I'll think about it, Mr. Cocky. Please do.
Samantha looks so good.
Hot.
Everyone in this episode,
insane.
every outfit Carrie is in. Like, did
insane.
you do 400 crunchies before putting that dress on?
I do have issues later with the white slip dress that you wear for an entire drunken lunch and has not a wrinkle on it afterwards. That
pink one.
Oh, the it
white
was white
one.
at the very end. Like, you're going to meet Big, and your dress looks, your silk slip dress looks perfectly like
someone just steamed it, like on her body.
Okay, you were just at a drunken lunch with your friends.
I don't mind. I love that shot of her where she's standing there holding her bag, and then the horse is behind her.
I like the whole shot where she we'll talk about it anyway. Later that week, when I spotted a Laura Ashley dress circa 1988 still hanging in my closet, I decided it was time to give my ex a friendly phone call. Bring, bring. Hello. I hadn't planned on the idiot stick figure with no soul answering, and she hangs up. But then she remembered that Big had caller ID. Remember these days? So she calls him back. He answers. She's like, hello. She's like, how's Natasha? She's great. I mean, you can tell in Big's this whole situation with her and Big, and how he goes with Natasha because she's like the easy, safe route and whatever. Fuck you, Big. Fuck you. I wouldn't even be able to get back with him like Carrie does, but as we see, what I thought was
a really good exchange here is when he's like, well, how are you? And she's like, I am A-okay. And he's like, you sound a little nuts.
Right?
The way they both say those two things to each other, it was just really good chemistry. Once again, you sound a little nuts.
But then she's like, can't you let one go by? She's like, this is weird. The first call, right? Maybe I'd do better if I went with my little prepared speech. You have a speech? I was wondering what you thought of, instead of pretending each other doesn't exist, we try to be friends or something. And he's like, I'd like that. Of course you'd like that. Of course you'd like that.
Does Natasha know about this
episode, though? Yeah, that's my thing. Your 26-year-old wife is cool with you getting back with slip wearer. I mean, every time she meets up with him too, it's like her tits are like on point, is all I'm saying. And I'm not slut shaming in any way, but I would not feel cute if
but I think one of the saddest lines that Natasha says is when she does catch Carrie and she goes, I knew you were having an affair, just not in my house. And it just is like, she was like, she's not just an idiot. She like knew, and she was dealing with all this alone and silently.
I think Natasha never came off as an idiot, really. She comes more off as like well-bred, and Carrie's like
Charlotte
is like the ragamuffin or whatever, you know, like so they basically are going to try and have this idea of having friends. So they decide to go have lunch. Okay, Carrie shows up for the reservation, and she makes it under her name.
She looks so good, and I think this is one of the most beautiful she ever looks.
I think that the last shots of the episode, when somehow they let her compare her, I was shocked that Sarah Jessica Parker let the show compare her face to a horse, but they do a side, like a cutback from a horse's face to her face.
I didn't put that together.
She looks so fucking she is lit so perfectly. Her hair is blowing. She's is the perfect really good shade
at the plaza.
The color of the hair is perfect. The tan is perfect.
The hair looks like it just got lightened and like freshly lightened.
Oh, it is.
And she's so fresh. Whoa. And then that pink dress is such a perfect shade of pink. And the way the scene is directed is so well, because she comes in looking all like confident, and Big's all nervous. And then like on the way out, Carrie's all like knocking shit over and tripping.
Well, they have a cute little bit here. They're coming in. He's all nervous. He trips down the stairs.
He recommends like the
Cobb salad.
The Cobb salad like twice because he's so nervous.
So then they sit down And the waiter comes over. He's like, "Can I get you something to drink?" And she's like, "Iced tea." He's like, "Mineral water." And then they like look at each other and he's like, "Scotch, Cosmopolitan." An hour later, I had solved the unsolvable friendship equation. It seems the answer is this: Cosmopolitans plus Scotch equals friendship with an X.
Yeah, I
The
feel like
line is
that's a
coming up,
split.
Amanda. The
What?
line that I hate is coming up.
Oh, well, let
Letting
me
you
say
know.
really quickly then. It's a slippery slope because I do
Oh,
agree
this
that
is a
alcohol can
terrible idea.
obviously, I think alcohol makes everything better. But I feel like it's a drink and a half.
Oh,
And then
honey, this
after
is
that half,
awful. No, no, no. No.
no, then I'm not drunk. But that after that drink and a half, then I start kind of losing the inhibitions. And
Mm.
then after like 3 or 4 drinks, that's when like the 3 a.m. texts to people like 15th on the like list
I
are
was
getting
gonna say,
sent.
if I met up with Big and he ordered a Scotch and I ordered a Cosmopolitan, honey, it'd be about 30 minutes before I'd be sucking his dick and we'd be fucking somewhere. Like, no way would this just end like, no. That would be then like sex. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah,
there's
because then they get
no
all
way.
flirtatious. Okay, so what's the line
So,
that
okay,
carries
she's
this?
like, so it is they're together, sweet, she's like, if I had to listen to freaking Blood, Sweat, and Tears one more time, and he's like, Blood, Sweat, and Tears is great stuff. She's like, 10 minutes after we're awake, and he's like, and then she goes, this, I think it's the delivery. She takes her knife, and
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
she
Okay.
like hits it on her cup, and she's like, all right, tell me about the girl.
Yeah, it's a weird
The
line.
delivery of
I
that
almost think
makes
that
me
I
so
like
uncomfortable.
that line though. That line does stand out
I
to me, but I
hate.
think I like it. I think I like the way she taps the glass because it kind of makes it more into like a bit, so it's less awkward. Like I like how they
Oh, see,
perform.
I think it made it so much more awkward because it almost turned it into like, okay, stop what we're doing right now. Ding, ding, ding. All right,
But
tell
she's
me
kind
about the
of playing it
girl.
up like ding ding ding, let's talk about the
Also,
girl.
I don't like just say Natasha. So, also, don't even ask this. Don't do this. Don't do
Well, no,
this.
but it's funny because this is how the conversation would go. Is like he's like, well, she's like, no, stop, I
Well,
can't.
this part, yes, but I'm saying the lead up to it. Like, don't ask to talk about the new one.
But that's because it's a drink. She's a couple drinks
You're
in,
right.
so that
You're
that
right.
is when you'd ask that. Like, I'm cool. I got this.
So he's like, really? And she's like, friends talk about their relationships. And she's like, go ahead, friend, tell me about the girl. Which I hate. She's very sweet. Okay, enough. Don't tell
Yeah.
me about the girl. Okay, no can do. Maybe we should make a pact. We don't talk about our relationships until they get really serious. It is serious. We're engaged. I would like literally it's that moment where it's like, whoosh.
No, I feel it in my gut. Just it
And
just washes over you
when
slowly.
you guys when this whole episode is revealed and everything is laid out there, I am so on Carrie's side here, and I would be such a bitch and such a mess about all
See,
this whole
I
situation.
admire her for doing that because I 100% would be like, that's totally fine. And then I would just be like miserable the rest of my whole life.
Oh, I wouldn't. I would say the same kind of shit.
No,
Like
I
what she
admire her
says
for
is
being able to admit, yeah, I'm mad about this.
she's like, I do like kind of the way this plays out. She's like, he's like, we're engaged, and he's like, I wanted you to hear it from me, and she's like, I just got a
I
splitting
have a
headache.
splitting
Like,
headache. Yeah.
and he's like, I didn't know how to tell you. She's like, how can you be engaged? You have a problem with commitment, remember? In fact, you told me you never ever wanted to get married again, ever. And he's like, things change. And she's
Oh,
like,
it's
you
that
just didn't want to
scene.
marry me. And I would, things change?
Yeah, and yes, you didn't want to marry me.
Within 5
Exactly.
months.
Yes.
No, it's not that things change, sweetie. Maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the
Yeah.
line, but to say
Mhm.
5 months later that, oh, now I'm ready to
Oh
get
no,
married.
that's that
Fuck you. Fuck you.
all that says is it's me. I have a
Exactly.
problem. That's all that says to you. That's all that is.
Exactly. And she says, you just didn't want to
Awful.
marry me. He's like, Natasha and I. He's like, don't say her name. Don't you dare
Don't you
say her
dare
name to
say
me.
your name to
She
me.
killed it
Yes.
in all of this. She's like, you
Yes.
string me along for 2 years and then you marry some 25-year-old girl after only 5 months. He's like, I did not string you along. And she says, fine, you didn't. you know what? I have to go. I have a headache. And then he's like, don't end it like this. And she's like, you did it like this. I was trying to be friendly. This seems like a much better way to end things. Go, be engaged, get married to, and here's the line.
Yeah.
Nijinsky or whatever her name is. Have a nice life.
I remembered that.
I was, because I don't remember. I wouldn't have remembered that. But aren't you impressed that I remembered it?
That you remember
when I watched it.
Yeah. You know what
Don't worry about me. I'm fine. And then she trips on the stairs, emulating him tripping on the stairs, which part of me felt like the way she did it almost seemed like it was an accident. And she's like, these steps are very dangerous. And she leaves.
It looked
she
real. It
fucking
looked terrifying.
killed.
What I've always noticed is and I don't know if this was on purpose because you never know with these writers, but this was when they were still nailing it, was that in the last episode, when she asked Big, how old is she? Big goes, I don't know, 26, 27, something like that. Then on the beach, when Carrie's throwing up, she's constantly making her younger, is what I'm about to say. But Miranda comes up and Carrie goes, Big has a girlfriend. She's 26. Like she chooses the lower age. And then in this speech, she goes 25-year-old after only 5 months. So she's constantly bringing the age down, which I like because I think that is how that's how my brain works.
I would do that. Also, 25 rolls off the tongue a little better than 26.
Yeah, 25 and kicks more.
Fuck you, dude. You are.
And also, can we talk about that she's in her 20s, like, and how
men? Honestly, men ain't shit.
I know,
guys. Update. My dad married a woman who's younger than me, so just letting you know.
But he also wasn't in his right mind.
Yes, but neither is Big here. Taddy and Carrie and Charlotte are at the Staples.
Yeah.
And guess what, guys? It's all about Carrie. The next day, I had promised to hold Charlotte's hand while she tried writing. It turned out she needed to hold mine as well. You know what? I broke in big. I broke him in, and the idiot stick figure with no soul gets to ride him. And then she bitches this whole time about wearing, like,
no one told you to wear those, you fucking idiot. Like, why would you think that was
green silk strappy heels that are, of course, in horse shit. Charlotte tries to get on the horse and she can't do it. And I get it because she was thrown off. Paris Hilton got thrown off a horse on The Simple Life too, and she got stomped.
You know who else got thrown off a horse? Christopher Reeve.
Oh dear. I was thinking a little lighter. Someone in a Housewives got thrown off a horse too.
Oh, Luann, right? Or Ramona?
Luann got thrown almost off a camel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Christopher Reeve.
So after a few get to know each other phone calls, Samantha took up Mr. Cocky on his offer.
God, you talked on the phone with this guy, man?
Turns out
a few times.
I would have phone sex with this man.
I don't think they were having phone sex. They would just get to know. Oh, is that what's implying they were having like phone sex?
Oh, I don't know, but I would. How would you have a conversation? Just hi. So tell me, like, what do you do for work? Oh,
I just can't. The concept of calling someone to get to know them, that just sounds like a horror.
Times were different.
I lived through those times, and I managed to never ever do that.
Well, during the time of this, I was writing notes back and forth on pieces of paper and like leaving them in spots at school in high school. That's what we would do, like write little notes and like leave them in a crack somewhere, and then you'd like go get the
You weren't in high school during this, because I was in high school during this.
What year was it?
Well, I know that I watched Sex and the City in Canada, so I
thought I was like 16.
I guess I'm thinking of season 1 because I saw the naked dress first. So I must have
maybe.
Okay, so I was 18.
I think we were both in high school at different times.
Oh, and high school in the States, you start in grade 9, which is weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Samantha took up Mr. Cocky on his offer for a friendly drink. Turns out it was a very friendly drink. Before I go any further, I gotta warn you about something. Warn me about what? I'm very well endowed. Jackpot.
Which ding, jackpot.
He's like, no, I'm serious. It's huge. Most women can't handle it. I'm not most women. Unzip and get over here. Samantha suddenly understood what made Mr. Cocky so cocky. And then she has I kept thinking this like this scene would cut, but it was so long of just watching her face as this big dick approached her face. She's like,
I mean, So they tried
It just
it, I
kept going.
guess. Yeah.
She's like, I'm telling you, it was like a wall of flesh coming at me. Nothing is scarier than a really big one coming at you. I didn't even want my mouth near it. I was afraid I'd get lockjaw. It was quite a shock. His hands are relatively tiny. Don't tell me you believe that. Not anymore. I'm going to have to psych myself up before I try it again. You're going to try it again? Why? Because it's there. It's a penis, not Mount Everest.
Exactly.
If it was Mount Everest, last night I could only make it to base camp 1. This conversation
And she goes, you dated Mr. Big? I'm dating Mr. Too Big. And Carrie goes, wait, so you broke up with James because his dick is too big or too small, and now you're breaking up with this guy because his dick is too big? Who are you, Goldie Cox? Samantha goes,
she's like,
yes,
I am
looking for the right one.
just right. That night after a friendly dinner, Miranda and Steve began to explore their newfound friendship. Miranda has Steve's old fire department shirt, and he's like, give me that back. And she's like, but it fits me perfectly. He's like, this is what happens when we break up. You give me my fireman shirt.
Yeah, and then she turns the t-shirt around and it says, keep back 15 feet. And they both kind of giggle. And it's just a really cute moment of chemistry.
And they're like, oh yeah, what are we gonna do, Miranda? And she's like, I don't know. Let's just be friends. And he's like, they try to kiss goodbye. And he goes for the lips and she turns like for the cheek. And she's like, oh yeah, that's what friends do or something. I got wrapped up here because I wrote, do friends kiss here? Because so hot. He goes to her neck and he's like, do friends kiss here? And he kisses her neck. And then I was like,
I know, that's hot.
Okay, so they fought. I mean, they get down with it because, I mean, if anyone kisses my neck and like whispers to my ear, it's over. And their conversation goes like this. We had good reasons for breaking up, right? Yeah, money, schedules, goals, good reasons.
Schedules, I guess, was a good reason. That is a legitimate reason.
It was, but yeah, I guess. But it's shit that consumerism and capitalism.
However, that was me. I would just be like, well, let's just see each other one day a week. That's perfect.
I would just say, let's see each other in the in-between time of like when you get off and whatever. Let's make it work. Fuck it. It's Steve.
Yeah.
Money, schedules, goals, good reasons. What now? Are we still just friends? Yeah, we're still just friends. Friends who have sex.
No, never works.
In a bed across town, Samantha's getting ready to take that big ass dong. He's like, ready? She's like, wait.
She's funny in this scene.
She's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
After 2 yoga classes and a hit of the best Hawaiian gold she could find, Samantha was ready to take another run at Mount Everest. He's like, they're doing all this stuff. She's like, wait, and he's like, okay, dude, here we go. And she's
starting with her leg up. Why are you doing that? That makes it so much tighter. Like lies.
It does.
Flat, like yes, when you put your legs up, it tightens it like this.
Oh, see, I would think that just like opened it up.
No, you need to be relaxed. I would say just like sit there like with your legs just kind of flopped out.
Oh, see, I think like a doggy style situation would probably be best.
No, doggy makes it tighter too, and it's a different angle. Doggy's tighter.
Well, we don't know the true logistics of this dick. Is it really? I'm guessing it's really thick and long.
I think it's thick and long, but it seems like because if it's long, then at least like there's an ending point, and she's like taking the dick, but it seems like it's barely in.
It has to be really
so it has
big
to
because where this goes is he's like. All of that, she thinks like this is happening, and he's like, okay, here we go. And she's like, here we go. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, we're not there yet. And he's like, no. And she's like, okay, stop. Whoa, boy. Whoa. Can we just be friends? And just like that, Samantha made her very first male friend. And he lays on her chest and goes,
oh, is that like a horse thing? That's not because you're seeing all this horse stuff that like
it transitions into the horses.
Well, okay, you just did an impression of a horse.
He makes a horse sound.
He did this. Like a
Amanda, that is a horse.
You did like a whinny, but
it was implied. He did that on purpose.
Okay,
to
I guess I never
imply that
put
it
that
was a
together.
horse. If there was an intelligent director, they were connecting. He was like going, what the fuck ever, whether it was or what the they both sound like fucking horses. And just like that, Samantha
No,
made her very first friend.
I
And then it cuts to
feel bad
what?
for this guy. What do you do? I mean, what do you do?
I'm just gonna tell you, there
Find a
are
loose chick.
size queens who want people want fists up their vages. They'll
I know,
take a big dick.
but logistically, you can only actually put so much in a vagina where the asshole, I think, can get really big. Well, I guess a vagina can too, actually.
A baby comes out of a vagina.
Okay, I misspoke, Joan.
I know a lot about vaginas, obviously. Yeah. They can take a beating, honey. The next day in Central Park, Charlotte was making a new friend as well. And this was Pal, the horse that she was with before. I loved this. And I liked that there was a storyline in here that wasn't about men. How about that? She had decided that she and Pal were moving too fast. So before going any further, they needed to get to know each other. So she chilling with him, giving him treats and shit. And then they end up going and riding. And her story resolution is like her just like galloping really fast, like across.
Yeah, and then we never see her on a horse or see her talk about a horse for the entire rest of the series.
She's cured.
Yeah, done. Bye, Pal. Get back in the stable
now. Then we get Carrie's voicemail, which I love. Hey, it's Carrie. I'm shoe shopping, which is really cute. It's me. Are you there? Pick up if you're there. You're not there. This is big. I'm calling to say I feel bad about last week. I didn't mean for it to happen like that. I thought you needed to know. I hated the idea of someone else telling you. Christ, I feel like a real shit. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I would never hurt you deliberately. She picks up the phone. I know you wouldn't.
That's a good shot too, because you don't think she's there, but then it just cuts her and she's just like standing there in her nightgown.
I mean, I would predict that. I like kind of.
I'm sorry. I was looking at my phone. I forgot to post the Sister Wives thing. I'm so sorry. I wasn't ignoring you though. I had a panic attack.
What a bitch.
Sister Wives is on right now.
Wow. Sorry. Ew, it's on right now.
Yeah. Don't say. What are you saying? Ooh for?
Oh yeah. Okay. I know you wouldn't. You're there. I'm here. I wish you all the best. I do. So they have a little convo. I wish you all the best. I do. I hope you and Natasha will be very happy. Do you mean that? No, but I will, really. I hope someday very soon we can meet for a drink and be great friends. I mean, there was good acting in this episode by all parties, like they do in the movies. So they resolve that like they're going to try and be friends. Time goes by. And this is a scene that reminds me a lot of First Wives Club, which Maggie Smith was in, because I'm sorry, one of the first parts in First Wives Club is Stockard Channing. Well, they do like the college flashback, okay? And then Stockard Channing is writing letters because she's about to kill herself. And she has her maid send the letters. She gives her pearls that they have in the college scene. So they have her send her the letters, and the other ladies get the letters in the mail and like sit down, and Bette Midler sits down on the bed like Carrie does with the other mail, and all the mail like she sees the letter and all the rest of the mail like slides off her lap. And it just, I don't know, like you remember, you get those like little, I mean, I have watched First Wives Club 100 times. It is like my little comfort movie.
100 times.
It's so good. It's just a comfort movie, and like
you could never end a movie like that nowadays, huh?
I wish they would end more movies like that nowadays, actually.
Yeah, agreed.
Because they set it up. It actually makes perfect, if you guys haven't seen it, they end singing You Don't Own Me, but it makes perfect sense because they have the scene earlier where they like practice singing it a little bit because they used to sing it.
It does.
So like it's not just like, it like I think that movie does not have good has like a terrible Rotten Tomatoes score or something.
Oh, well, whatever.
And I'm like, fuck the world for that. Carrie gets, guess what? The fucking letter that we don't know what it is. It's an invite to Big's engagement,
which is
party.
Crazy. Like this is crazy. Absurd.
These are kind of the moments where I'm like, fuck Big. I can't with this shit. Like, you can't be that obtuse. Like, really? She's like, and I actually managed to hold on to those friendly feelings until I can't believe my boyfriend is at my ex-boyfriend is at the plaza having an engagement brunch. And he had the nerve to invite you. It's my own fault. I had to make the big let's be friends speech. Who am I kidding? Big and I were never friends. We were something else. Something that did not end with an engagement party at the plaza. And then Samantha's like, do we want another round? And they're like, what do you think? And this is where Carrie is getting her dress incredibly wrinkled, having multiple
Sure. But this scene is
martinis.
so good.
It is so
And it's so
good.
beautifully shot because they all are drinking Cosmos and each of their glasses are like a different like Teletubbies color.
And they each also are wearing different, like it's so visually
The
pretty. It really
palette is
is.
just gorgeous.
It really is. And it makes me really excited for season 3.
Yeah, season 3 is so good.
So
yeah, they talk about
The Way We Were, which I personally have never watched it. I'm sure you have,
but I feel like I know the entire story because of this episode.
Because of what they say. So they're like, oh my God, one word, Hubble. Hubble. Oh my God, Hubble. It is so Hubble. Samantha, the one you'd think would have seen it, is like, who's Hubble? They're like, Hubble, Robert Hubble Redford in The Way We Were. She's like, never saw it. And they're like, oh my God, what are you, an alien? How could you have not seen it? And she's like, chick film.
The chemistry between the ladies here are really good because oh my God, like the way they're all like
oh yeah, they
off
give
each other
like
is
friendly
electric.
vibes.
Yeah.
So
I don't believe that they actually all hate like that. There was actually that much animosity. Maybe not.
I
at
think
this
the
point.
only real animosity might have been between Sarah Jessica Parker and Samantha.
But I don't think back here. I think it was way later when contracts, the disputes were happening. But I think here they were genuinely getting along.
I think once Samantha's character kind of became everyone's favorite, I think that could have maybe had.
You're putting it more on SJP.
I want to.
That's
Sorry, because Samantha did make the show, and I say give her $20 billion to get on it just like that.
Like
season
she got
3.
$1 million for what she does in it. I don't that season 2. So
pay her $75 million for the season. I don't care. Put her in scenes that she could be in Paris for all I fucking give a shit. Have them call into her every once in a while, and she have a whole separate storyline. I do not care. I need.
And then we actually follow her in Paris. I was ready to watch that. Oh, sorry, Stinky.
And then give her a spinoff, Samantha in Paris or Samantha in some country that rhymes with Samantha. So we find out the story of The Way We Were, that basically it does kind of emulate that Barbara Streisand is the crazy hair girl, Katie. And
Curly.
He just can't tame Katie, basically. She has wild curly hair. He leaves her and marries this simple girl with straight hair. And they say, ladies, I am having an epiphany. The world is made of 2 types of women, the simple girls and the Katie girls. When she sees him with his new wife, the simple girl, she reaches up, smooths his hair away, and she says to him, your girl is lovely, Hubble. And then the music comes in.
Your new girl is lovely, Hubble. You fucked up the line.
Is it?
I think
is your girl is lovely, Hubble.
Oh, well then I was wrong. Just egg all over my face.
Because I have it written twice here.
I thought it was your new girl is lovely. Okay,
well, I think it's your girl is lovely, Hubble. Okay, well. Then the music comes in, and then they do this whole memories singing.
It is your girl is lovely, Hubble. What the fuck am I talking about?
And then this is when Samantha says, I miss James.
That is very funny because you expect her to be like, you guys are embarrassing me. But she's actually like, I miss James. It
ignites it. And you know what? I think that's a good enough resolve for Samantha for the season. It ties it back to the very beginning of the season.
God, was that just this season? That whole James thing? That's
it started in last season. And then the first episode is she's with him.
You know what that episode was? It's the origin of, well, I love jazz.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they met.
After I left my friends, I found myself pulled to the site of the engagement party. I had no intention of going in, but I was on my way home. 1 second, I had a choice. I could run or I could stand and ask him the question that I didn't ask that would haunt me for the rest of my life. I thought by the time I got here, I'd know what to say. Okay, so basically, Big is there. The party's over. Natasha's in the car.
How much of a fight this would be in the car right after that? Have fun in the limo with your new fiance, because you're clearly having like an intimate conversation with your ex.
Very. Right, and she is dressed so sexily. Like
her body is insane.
Like I'd be like, get in the fucking car. Enough. Come on.
Yes.
Actually, I don't know what I'd do in this whole situation. I had no intention of going in. So then basically, she's like, I thought by the time I got here, I'd know what to say. And you're late. The party's over. And I thought, damn, this dress would have wrinkles. And then she says, I'll say it is. He says, the party's over. She's like, I'll say it is. Funny. I was just on my way home and I have a question for you. Why wasn't it me? And goddamn, I mean, she gets right to
that
it.
is what you want to
He's
know.
like,
That's all you want
Carrie.
to know.
And she's like, no, seriously, I really need to hear you say it. She's like, come on, be a friend. He's like, I don't know. It just got so hard. And I feel like I've felt this kind of a rejection situation where because you are more than like a basic person, it's like some people are like, well, oh, geez. Let me go with the safe option here. Like the
boring,
easy person. Yeah, the boring. I don't mean even the safe option because like if you get to know me, I'm a very good partner.
Yeah.
I just, I had guys check out our Patreon because it was horse week for me.
Oh my gosh.
Which ties
Don't remind me.
It ties into this episode, Amanda.
It does. The horses. Oh my
Everything ties together. So then, come on, be a friend. I don't know. It just got so hard. And she's, yeah. And then she does, your new girl is, your girl is lovely, Hubble. And he's like, I don't get it. And then she's like, and you never did.
Yeah, she thinks she ate with that, but she didn't.
She kind of did eat with it. I think
he's like, what? Fuck?
He never did get it because he would never she was never able to truly be Carrie at this point with him. And we'll see as things go on. And then she's walking past this horse, which
this is a busted horse too. This horse looks like it's bleeding because of the coloring on it.
Sweet because it was old. Like it was giving me the vibes that it had had a life.
It's been through it.
And he's like, easy girl, the worker. And then she's like, then I had a thought. And they're trying to bridle this horse, sticking the thing in its mouth, and it's just like, and it's panning back between it and Carrie.
Oh, see, I never put that together, but okay, yes. She's like,
which I'm not judging, but I know that there was a time when people would be like a horse face, right? Is
yeah, well,
Alaska, the drag queen always is like, I have a horse face, and she wears a horse mask to say she has.
Jody always says she has a horse face.
So you know what I mean. So I was surprised, but Carrie couldn't look I don't know if this is the best she's maybe ever looked in her entire life.
Episode solid.
She looks amazing. And I'm not judging, and I don't think she looks like a horse. I wouldn't want to be interspersed cut with the Pillsbury Doughboy and then me, and back to the Pillsbury Doughboy and then me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good point.
Just saying. And I'm not saying I'm the Pillsbury Doughboy either. Just she probably you guys know what I mean. I'm a lovable. What was that?
A lovable stinker.
Yeah,
I'm not ignoring you, by the way. I'm trying to find that email.
This bitch keeps getting on the phone. She told me to stop looking at my phone.
I'm trying to find the email.
I remember who it's from, and it starts with an S.
Okay.
And it should be in our. Easy girl, easy girl, easy girl.
Anyway, great episode.
Then I had a thought. We have to wrap up. Then I had a thought because this is technically the end of the season.
No, I thought you had to get out
Carrie's arc.
Movie. Yeah,
I do want to. I'm trying to go see Transformers 1. But guys, everything for you. Then I had a thought. Maybe I didn't break big. Maybe the problem was he couldn't break me. Maybe some women aren't meant to be tamed. Maybe they need to run free until they find someone just as wild to run with. So that's going to lead us into Aiden.
Woo! Oh, Aiden.
I'm kind of the way that this has resolved, watching it with Big now, I'm excited for Aiden to come, and I wasn't previously, but now I'm excited.
But then I also see why she gets back with Big, because you need to have closure. You have to have closure.
I totally get it. So, guys, what I want to say is if you stuck it out through here. We love you. My God. I now have like the burps. Oh my Lord. Send us sex stories to patcpod@gmail.com. We've gotten them. We read them religiously. And we stopped at and just like that because we thought it wasn't sexy. Like the show isn't
The show
sexy.
isn't sexy.
And then I think because of that, people just also stopped sending us emails. But we got an amazing email from a reader who I know we love you out there. So I can't wait to hear it. Amanda's gonna read it.
Okay. I went to a sex club, baby. My friend let me know she and her husband are swingers, and she was telling me how she has a membership at a sex club. I never knew that existed legally, so I told her I would love to go and see it. I am not the adventurous type, but I am curious. I would totally do this. But like, as long
I
as
also know where this person lives.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they live in Arizona, and I'm wondering, like, is this in Arizona?
Okay, well, maybe
This
next time I
sex
go to
club?
Arizona, you and me can go to a sex club together.
Ew.
She had to practice with me to not stare and point. We walk through, and it's one of those commercial places that rents out office or shop space. The cashiers, a man and two women, were wearing I almost said refugee, were wearing referee outfits with whistles, and I assumed that was their uniform, and they blow the whistle at people breaking the rules, but I guess it was a theme night. I started to get the giggles when the guy who checked us in said, I made meatballs. They're in the crock pot by the popcorn machine. We also have a birthday boy here tonight, so help yourself to the cake. He went over the rules and gave me a card for the Cassidy app, not how it's spelled.
What's the Cassidy app?
Not how it's spelled. I don't know.
That must be like a sexy, like a swingers thing or something.
It's where people have sex profiles with nudes and you can meet other people who want to hook up. You can have sex, post pictures of the encounter, and then leave a rating review on their profile. Oh my God. Who would do? Oh my God.
Okay, I'm a creep where I not a creep, but I would like to read these. Like, I'm so into like, I would love to read people's reviews of their sex encounters.
Yeah, but I don't want anyone ranking me.
No, God, no. God, no.
People hate my personality enough. Imagine my vagina.
They're like, wow, this bitch's pussy is ragged.
This bitch's pussy is dry as fuck. It was a super large one-story room with makeshift rooms, similar to Workaholics when they fell in love with the cam girl. I don't want a workaholic. The first room we went past had its door closed, and the room next to it had the door open. Right away, it was an orgy, and a woman was blowing a very large penis while a guy was behind her. Okay, got it pictured. That moment, I knew I wanted to leave. I was 100% out of my element, but didn't want to kink shame or be disrespectful. However, I knew right away I saw enough to where I got the point. I obviously stayed, and she gave me the tour. Surprisingly, it was a lot of "We the People" and American flag stuff on the wall. Men had pro-guns shirts on.
You guys have heard my story about. Oh wait, maybe you haven't. Maybe that's on the Patreon. Anyway,
probably on the Patreon. Are you eating? Are you eating now?
I'm trying to like, I have some things to eat before I go to the movie.
Oh my God. Okay. Are you also going to eat really at the movie?
Huh?
You're going to eat at the movie too, I assume. What am I? I'm not food shaming you. Look, you don't even want to know what I'm about to eat tonight. At the movie.
I'm not eating food, honey. Keep going.
Oh, gotcha. She showed me the different rooms. One was a whipping bondage room with a bed in the corner where a couple was fucking. Another room was like 5 king mattresses lined up. There was a bar and dance floor too. I saw the bartenders groping. There was a pool table and people everywhere. Probably about 60 people. I was explained to that this was a high-end club because men couldn't enter unless they have a female partner with them, but women can enter alone. I guess there's a place downtown where single men go, and it's really gross because the men will just stand way too close to people having sex and jerk off. Nice.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of like porno places, sex theater, like porn theaters where people fuck and all that.
Oh. I would go to one of those. I don't want to participate.
I've never gone to one as a grown adult because I'm too embarrassed. So
yeah, I would just feel like I don't want anyone to pay attention to me or like look at me. I would just kind of want to like observe. A voyeur. In short, I'm glad I saw. Oh wait, I talked to a woman who looked very kind and like a total librarian. She told me how her husband surprised her with not one, but 2 back-to-back gangbangs. In short,
What?
I'm glad I saw it. Not my thing. Germs felt present, but that could be in my mind. Haha. But if it's your thing, you totally should look into it. Everyone was really nice, and the vibe inside was surprisingly relaxing and fun. I do feel bad going just to see it, and it was clearly tense, but but it felt safe.
My feelings are, I am so pro sex of all kind. Like, have any kind of sex you want. I think it's great. So I don't want anyone to think I'm judging. I personally would be too freaked out. But if I had a really ripped, tight body and like was really super sexy, not saying I'm not like super sexy, but
well, you feel
I'm
cutest
not
when you're
delusional.
naked.
I do feel cute when I'm naked. I mean, I guess I could go to one of these. I think it's the idea of like a stranger. Like, I need vetting. I need a little more vetting, in the process. Like, I need to know a little bit more
But you
about
wouldn't go
you.
just to watch? I wouldn't participate.
I wouldn't want to go and watch because I'd feel just like pervy then.
Oh.
Like, what am I going to go stand there and be like, ooh.
That's what I would do.
A dick is going
I'd probably
in
be
this
turned
vagina.
on. I would be turned on for sure. I would definitely be turned on.
Like,
I probably would end up having sex with someone. Let's be honest.
If I saw a man and woman having sex, though, would I be turned on?
It's
I mean, I've watched
primal.
straight porn before, but my focus is on the man.
Yeah, but I like how primal it can be.
A lot of people like to show off, baby. They like to show it off.
Yeah.
Guys, this is the end of season 2.
Shortest episode ever with the
I can't
email.
believe
we're
it,
nailing this,
baby. You know what? Sometimes when you really get it nice and lubed up, you're able to slide right in and out. Yes?
Have you been saying that closing thing lately? Or have you not? I feel like you have not said that at all. It's the end of the season, Jones, so take us out. Damn.
I have to. Okay. I need us to stretch here a second because I have to see, when did I stop saying that? It's got to be in one of these notes here. I think I stopped.
Oh, why do you put it like on your
I would put it at the
and
very
then
end of the
notes?
Oh my God. Have I not been saying it at all this whole this season too? I'm gonna cry now. I'm gonna cry.
Well, say it now. It's never too late.
Well, where is it? Oh God, you know what's so sad?
What?
It's the end of season 2, and I've totally forgotten my mantra, but I've remembered it just now.
Okay, yeah.
They say nothing lasts forever. Dreams change, trends come and go, but friendships never go out of style.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Like that, season 2. Love you guys. I can't hear you.
Oh, you couldn't hear me talking about finger banging?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, love you guys.